Hi everybody, congratulations on the purchase of your new Bernina machine. Today I'm going to go through the accessories that you got with your machines. Now this is for the 4 through the 8 series machines. Not everything comes with every machine. So if you don't find it in your box, that doesn't mean that you don't have something that is either similar or that you can't purchase in any other way. So the first thing, this all came out of the Bernina 790 box. First thing you'll see is the slide-on tray. With the slide-on tray, you get a seam guide that fits on your tray and is good for the larger than normal seam allowances. You have your freehand system. If you haven't used it before, I really hope you try it out. Bobbins. Bobbins are different between the 4, 5, and 7 machines than the 8 machine. We'll talk about that more later. You have another throat plate. This one, you notice, has a separate color on the top of it. It is a straight stitch throat plate. When we go on to these other little things, you have your Bernina oiler. That also maybe look a little bit different in your box, but everybody has one. A stylus. You can either use your finger or the stylus to find your way around your machine. Brush. Cleaning is always important. This little screwdriver, there are some in the case here that you probably won't use very much, but you don't want to lose them. This is one that if you happen to have something stuck in the side of your take-up lever or something like that, this fits in the side of the machine to take that side off. Height compensation tool. Some people have called it the hump jumper, Gina-majig, something like that. This is actually the Bernina version of it, and it's when you go over different height materials so that you make sure your stitch is perfectly straight. Always important, seam ripper. If you haven't used one in a long time, this one is really sharp, so be careful. You have 2 sponge pads. They go on either the vertical or the horizontal spool pin to make sure that your spools of thread move around freely. 3 size spool holders, depending on what size spool of thread you have. Depends on which one you would use. This is a seam guide. It goes on the back of your foot. Any foot that actually has a little screw on it, it will fit in there. So that's for larger than normal seam allowances when you're not using the one on your tray. Needles. You get an extra pack of needles. Remembering that you can use Bernina needles, organ needles, Schmetz needles. The only needles that the Berninas really don't like are your Singer needles. So if you happen to have an old Singer in your house, please put that away with your machine. Little screwdriver. This would be if you were going to be changing the tension in your bobbin. Like I said, some of these you probably won't use very often, but you don't want to lose them. All important power cord. Foot pedal. When you have your foot pedal, unplug it from the side and unwrap it. It does not have to be fully extended to be used. You will have a manual someplace. With the 790, it also comes with quick start sheets for both embroidery and sewing. You also have an accessory box. Different machines have different accessory box, but one thing that you'll find hidden in here is actually a little screwdriver that would be to change the needle on your machine. It just hides right there in the corner. A couple of drawers. This drawer you will find more foot racks. You can slide them into your accessory case depending on how many feet you have as to how far apart they want to go. The other thing that's nice about these accessory cases is they have feet on them. So when you put them down, it doesn't fall over. we'll talk about feet in just a second, but one of the things that you got when you got your machine at the Bernina World of Sewing in either Raleigh or Wilmington is a USB stick. This actually has the machine mastery pages on it. You put this in your computer and you will find the machine mastery book. I'm loosely going by that with what I'm going to be doing today, but it is a wonderful informational project. It's sometimes easier to read this than it is the manual. So when I talk about some things today, you will find it all in this as well as your manual. So don't forget, this goes in your computer. It doesn't go in your machine. The cover that comes with the machine actually just goes over top. It does not go underneath it. And you can use it for carrying. The handle comes through the top of it. The feet that come with your machine. You'll find that this one in particular happens to come with both a 1C and a 1D foot. Anytime the foot has a D on it, that means you have to use the dual feed function with the machine. It has that wonderful arch in the back. When I do the tour of the machine, I'll show you how that works. The C means that I call them eyeballs is on there, and when these feet are on the machine, that tells the machine that it can do something with a 9mm stitch width. You'll notice this foot number 2, or 2A, the very overlock foot, doesn't have the eyeballs on it. There's no time that you would ever use this foot with anything more than a 5mm stitch width. When you are purchasing new feet for your machines, there are different feet depending on which machine you have. There's a 1C, a 1D, and a plain 1. If you have the dual feed for your machine, usually you would go with a D foot. That means that you can use the dual feed at any time. Some other feet that come with this particular one, almost all of them come with the blind hem foot. The forefoot is actually a zipper foot, and it actually is a dual feed foot, so you do have to have the dual feed engaged. You also have your automatic buttonhole foot, and I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. Some people also got these wonderful things called the Bernina stitch regulators. That helps keep your free motion stitches even. They come with 3 different feet. You see the closed toe right here. Here's an open toe foot. And here is a good foot to be used with echo quilting or high loft fabrics. These are easy to change back and forth. The foot has little buttons on the side. You pinch the button and the foot slides out, and you just put your other foot back in. So it's easy to use. I think that's all the accessories that came with it, so we're going to stop right now and I'm going to change things around.